Well, I'm back out in the fields. I'm just running. I'm in our furthest away fields that we got down on 76. It's about like a 25-30 minute drive from the farm. And what I'm pulling looks a little different. What I used to pull was blue. So we just picked this up a couple days ago. A 40-foot Case IH field cultivator. We were looking for getting a newer, or looking to upgrade, because the DMI, the blue one that I was pulling, was getting pretty worn out over the years, so we just upgraded it. And it looks like we got a storm rolling in. Let's see, we'll see how bad that turns out. I already seen some lightning bolts. See how much rain we get from that. My uncle's down planting. It's just about down the road that way, north about, I'd say, a good 10 minutes by tractor. There's about 25 acres there that I just worked up, and he's planting that. So then I came down here and I started working this about maybe a third of the way done. I don't know how far I'll make it since the rain's coming in, so we'll have to see how it goes. Well, the storm's rolling in. Shut my lights off. Maybe I'll see it a little better. It's getting pretty dark. Lightning's coming in pretty good. I'm about halfway done of this field now. Got a neighbor planting down there. Well, I'm now just finishing these fields. So it's still still lightning pretty good. It's now just starting to sprinkle a little bit. My uncle's here. He's on the small little 10-acre part of the field. He's trying to get that done before it gets too wet and downpowers. He's just about done with it. And then we're gonna have to come back tomorrow and finish this 40-acre part that I just finished up. So that's what's going on. We'll probably see you guys tomorrow. Well, I believe this would be the last cornfield I'll be working up for field 4 corn. This is down on just a little bit away from the farm. You can actually see the silos. Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell in the camera. You might be able to see the silos. That's a farm. Just a little bit away from the farm here. It's about, I'd say, 45-50 acres. It's all split up between four fields. But there's that field there, and there's like a triangle field there that's always wet. So we're not in, it's pretty wet yet too, so we're not going to be able to get in there and plant those two until a little later. So yeah, all the fields are all ready to go, fertilizer on them and everything, and I'm just in the big field here working it up, and my uncle will get going on planting those. So that would be all the fields for corn this year until we come back and plant those two, and then we'll be getting ready for planting beans. So yeah, as you can see too, I got the old DMI back on the stagger here. When I was down on the last ground, I was working up with the new one. Every time I'd pick it up, I noticed that, or when I picked it up once, I noticed that there was a pretty bad leak on a hydraulic ram. So it was leaking pretty bad. So I brought it back to the farm and hooked onto the DMI here to finish up the ground for today. So we're gonna have to go to the local dealer and order a ram for that, get that fixed so we can use it. So yeah, Uncle's just getting going in the planter. He's gonna go plant some fields that I got worked up. So we're hoping to finish this. There's no reason we shouldn't. So yeah. So I'm coming down to this field here, and it's wet on that end and then this end here. So I've been coming downhill with it, and the problem is with this is I'm not fully stuck yet, but the thing is, them wheels in the middle, it'll sit and push the mud. So if I try backing out, it's gonna just drag all the mud there, and it's gonna keep going down. So I think we're gonna go grab the 7250 and see if we can yank it out. The tractor's not fully stuck yet, but if I just keep going, it's gonna dig it down more. So we're gonna have to see how this goes. really nice. I knew if I kept spinning, the tractor would have dug it down more, so I just had him come get me out because the tractor couldn't get itself out. It didn't really come out hard. It was just buried by the digger. So he's gonna leave that unhooked from my roller. I've got that down here in case I get stuck in here anymore along there. I'm gonna try getting around that from where I got stuck. So hopefully we don't get stuck again. I got the 7250 back on the roller. I'm heading back into some more drier fields. Probably go back to, there's one for sure more wet field, and then there's one that's mediocre that I should be able to get through with no problem, but we'll have to see. So I'm back in the tractor and I'm gonna start working up some more dirt. Uncle's in the planter, going away, planting. So after these fields are on, everything's gonna be really close to home for soybeans. So it should go by pretty quick if like after school or something, go work land, and then my uncle can plant it whenever he can. So it should go by pretty quick. Back out in the fields this afternoon. Came out here. Well, first after school, I went back down to the fields we were planting at last night or yesterday. I finished rolling the fields to get caught up with my uncle. He's got one last field to plant there, and since we can't do anything else because he's working, my dad's working, I came down with the stagger a little closer to the farm, and I'm starting to level off some more ground for beans. So it's about 25, maybe 30 acres, give or take, between this one field and like a small field. So almost done with this big field, and then I'm moving on to the small one. So just got down to some ground that's right down the road from the farm. You can actually see the silos off in the distance there. So I'm gonna get digger unfolded and get going. So this top field, I worked with the vertical till last fall. I went over it like I think twice, and because it's like a lighter sandy soil, so it worked out pretty nice. But then there's like a field across the lane there that's down on the hill more, but there's quite a few rocks in there, and then I didn't want to keep running it over with the disc because they kept getting stuck in between and wrecking the discs, so I ended up ripping it. And but it doesn't matter because I'm here with the digger anyway, so I'm gonna work up both fields. So I'm just doing the headlands on this last field over here, and then I'm gonna head back up closer to the farm and start working land over there. Pretty much all our land, all the stuff we have left for soybeans is all around the farm. So that's where I'm gonna be working land, and it's gonna make things a lot easier because we're closer and you don't have to run all over to be planting or be out in the field. So I'm back behind the farm here with the digger. I'm just working up some land that my dad spread on that hasn't been worked in at all, so I'm just buzzing over it kind of quick because it's already been worked twice. So far I'm really liking the digger. It's been working pretty nice, although we had to replace a couple hydraulic rams on them because they were bad. It's nice having it a little bit bigger because it does help get things done a little bit faster. I mean, it doesn't make a bunch of a difference with 6 feet or 5 feet, around there, but it is nicer. So yep, I've been liking it. So I'm just rolling along here. With the digger being a little bit bigger, I really haven't noticed the tractor struggling any more than pulling the DMI with it being a little bit bigger, which is pretty good. So it does kind of suck though with this digger. If you're in mud, you got 2 extra set of wheels that are dragging in mud, which is one of the reasons why it can get stuck, because it just sits and drags on the mud. But so far from the mud I've encountered, I've been able to pull through it fine. So we're doing. I don't know if you can see it or not with the sun being in the way, but I think this was our first or second field of corn right here. planted. The rows are coming up, so it really shot up since when we planted. So that's pretty good. It looks like it's coming up all right, pretty so far. So. Still rolling along here in the old Steiger. I'm in this next field. I'm up on the top here and it goes all the way down. There's 2 more fields over there, technically. Well, the one I'm in, it's kind of split there, but and then there's 1 more down there. So I'm still trucking along. It's going pretty good. We're planning on getting this all planted yet. From what I worked up from down the road and then across the road from the farm and then this, but we'll have to see how it goes. And then I gotta go roll it all yet too, so might be a little bit of a later night. Just working on the last field here. Got a couple more passes to go and then I gotta do headlands. There's some grass growing, a little bit of grass growing in here from not being worked up for a while, so I'm assuming we're gonna be coming to plant this yet today because it's only, what time is it? It's only 3:40, so should be no reason that we won't get it done. So got the digger all folded up now. I'm all finished down here. I'm just gonna head back to the farm for now and then probably help my uncle out planting, or possibly roll the field if he's done with it. But I guess we'll have to find out what's going on and then see. We'll go from there. So, well, I'm back around the farm here. This is one of the fields that are off to the side. Kinda, it's on a big hill. It's always usually wet. So it's always later on that we get to planting it. But it seems to be pretty decent actually. But besides on the headland there's like half a swipe I couldn't do. I just left it because it's all kind of swampy. The swamp's just down there and it's kind of flooded in there if you get too much water. That and over on the side there because water seems to run down the hill. But I seem to have gotten through it all decent. So probably be able to get this all planted today, and that'll be, if we get all this planted today, that'll be all our beans. And then I gotta go back to 45. Got 2 of them fields that were wet that we left when we were planting corn. Work them up, and then at some point work them up, and then plant corn in there. And top of my head right now, I believe that would be everything. So it's actually gone by pretty quick here, surprisingly. But so we just finished up planting and rolling the first about 50 acres of soybeans. So we're heading back to the farm now. We're not too far away from the farm. So we're heading back to go plant in 2 wetter fields that I had worked up. So that's what's going on. We're, for right now, everything will be done planted. Besides, we have them 2 fields that over on off of Highway 45, which is just down the road from the farm because we're kind of right off of it. 2 fields that were wet that haven't been worked up yet because when we were down there planting corn, they were too wet to get into. So we're gonna probably work those. I don't know. My dad actually might be working them right now because he had mentioned it when I called him. He might be working those right now, and then go back there and plant corn. And then we have 1 wet field that's behind the farm that's always wet that we're gonna have to get into at some point. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Probably call it the end of the video. We got her all planted around the farm here besides the wet fields we got to do yet. So y'all have a good rest of your day. See you guys later.